Imagine you are falling, not toward the ground, not toward water. You are falling into a planet, a world 8 times the size of Earth, spinning at the edge of the solar system in complete frozen darkness. There is no surface to catch you, no ground to hit, just atmosphere getting denser and denser and denser until the atmosphere itself becomes the monster. You have 30 seconds before the first thing kills you, and it won't even be the last. From a distance, Neptune is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. It glows, a deep electric cobalt blue, the kind of blue that doesn't exist anywhere else in the solar system, the kind of blue that looks painted, deliberate, almost peaceful. If you saw it hanging in the sky above you, you would stop breathing for a moment, not from fear, from awe. It looks like a marble, a perfect glowing marble wrapped in pale white clouds, drifting serenely through the dark. Voyager 2 captured it in 1989. Scientists gathered around screens and just stared. For a moment, it looked like paradise. But something is wrong. Those white clouds aren't peaceful. They are moving at speeds that would strip the skin from your body. That beautiful blue isn't calm. It's the color of a planet actively trying to destroy everything inside it, and the darkness surrounding it. Neptune sits so far from the sun that light takes over 4 hours just to reach it. You are not looking at a paradise. You are looking at a tomb. The moment you enter Neptune's atmosphere, the first thing that hits you isn't pressure. It isn't cold. It isn't darkness. It's the wind. Neptune has the fastest winds ever recorded in the entire solar system. We are not talking about a hurricane. We are not talking about anything you have a word for. Winds on Neptune move at over 2,100 kilometers per hour. That is nearly twice the speed of sound. A commercial jet flies at roughly 900 kilometers per hour. The fastest tornado ever recorded on Earth reached 480. Neptune's wind is more than 4 times that. Sustained, constant, planet-wide. The Great Dark Spot, a storm system the size of the entire Earth, was first spotted by Voyager 2. And here's what they found. The winds surrounding it were moving so fast, so violently, that they were actually flowing backward relative to the planet's rotation. The storm wasn't spinning with Neptune. It was fighting it. A planet-sized hurricane, raging in defiance of physics itself. If you were standing inside that wind, if such a thing were even possible, you would not fly, you would not tumble, you would simply cease to be a coherent object. You would become debris, fast-moving debris, scattered across a storm that has no edge and no end. But here's the problem. That's just the wind. You haven't even gone deeper yet. Neptune is 4.5 billion kilometers from the sun. Let that settle. At that distance, the sun is not a warm presence. It is a bright star. Just a bright star hanging in a sky full of other stars. The solar energy reaching Neptune is roughly 900 times weaker than what reaches Earth. And yet, Neptune radiates more heat than it receives. Far more. Scientists discovered that Neptune generates its own internal heat, pouring energy outward from deep within its core, which means something is happening inside. Something is churning. Something is generating heat on a scale we still don't completely understand. The upper atmosphere sits at around -218 degrees Celsius. That is cold enough to freeze oxygen into a solid, cold enough to shatter metal like glass. Cold enough that human tissue doesn't just die, it stops being tissue entirely. It crystallizes. It becomes something else. Exposed skin at that temperature lasts approximately 2 seconds before irreversible cellular destruction begins. Your eyes would freeze inside your skull before your brain could register the sensation of cold. But it gets worse, because the cold isn't even uniform. Neptune's atmosphere has layers, and as you descend through them, something stranger begins to happen. There is no surface on Neptune. Let that reality sink in. You cannot land. You cannot stop falling. You fall through gas, and then through something denser than gas, and then through something that isn't quite liquid, but isn't quite gas either. A superheated fluid of water, ammonia, and methane, compressed into a state that has no name in everyday human language. Scientists call it a superionic state, a state where the molecules are so compressed, so brutalized by pressure, that water stops behaving like water. The pressure at Neptune's core is estimated to be around 7 million times the atmospheric pressure on Earth's surface. To give that meaning, the deepest point in Earth's ocean, the Mariana Trench, exerts about 1,000 times atmospheric pressure. That is enough to collapse submarines, enough to kill any unprotected human being in an instant. Neptune's interior is 7,000 times more extreme than that. Your body would not be crushed in the way you imagine crushing. There would be no slow collapse. The pressure differential between one side of your body and the other would be so extreme that you would be compressed to a fraction of your size in a time frame too small to measure consciously. You would simply compress, uniformly, instantly. Like something had just decided you took up too much space. And this is where things change, because deep inside Neptune, scientists believe it rains diamonds. Carbon atoms, compressed by unimaginable pressure, crystallize as they fall through the interior, forming actual diamonds, potentially the size of boulders, raining silently through an ocean of liquid that shouldn't exist, in a darkness no light has ever touched. Beautiful, unreachable, fatal. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is what we don't know. Neptune has 16 moons. The largest, Triton, orbits the planet backward, the only large moon in the solar system to do so, which means it wasn't formed with Neptune. It was captured. Something about Neptune's gravity reached out into the darkness and pulled Triton in, forcing it into a backwards orbit that is slowly, inevitably decaying. In approximately 3.6 billion years, Triton will spiral inward close enough that Neptune's gravity will tear it apart, creating a ring system that will dwarf Saturn's. Neptune is patient. Neptune is consuming its own moon in slow motion. And then there's the heat. Neptune generates more energy than it receives from the sun, but we do not know exactly why. Something is happening inside, something we can see the effects of, but cannot fully explain. Something that drives those 2,100 km/h winds on a planet that should be slow and frozen and dead. Neptune should be calm. By every model we initially had, it should be quiet. Instead, it is the most violently active planet in the solar system. We don't fully know why, not yet. And the thing about space, the thing that nobody talks about in the clean, comfortable language of textbooks, is that "we don't know" is the most terrifying sentence in the universe. Because when something is this powerful, this extreme, and this poorly understood, our confidence in surviving it drops to exactly zero. We sent Voyager 2 to Neptune in 1989. It took 12 years to get there. 12 years of drifting through empty space, surviving radiation and cold, and the complete absence of everything. And when it finally arrived, it had a total of 3 hours to observe the planet up close before it was gone. Flung out into interstellar space, carrying photographs and data and the distant fingerprints of human curiosity. That was the only time anything we built has ever visited Neptune. One spacecraft, 3 hours, 35 years ago. We have not been back. And perhaps there is something honest in that, something that our instincts understand even when our ambition doesn't want to admit it. Some places in this universe are not waiting to be explored. They are not puzzles to be solved or frontiers to be crossed. Some places exist in a register that is simply beyond us, beyond our biology, beyond our technology, beyond our endurance. Neptune does not know we exist. It does not care that we looked at it through a camera lens from 3 hours of flyby distance. It has been raging in the dark for 4.5 billion years, and it will continue raging long after everything we have ever built has turned to dust. The universe is not hostile to human life. It is simply indifferent to it. And Neptune, beautiful, violent, incomprehensible Neptune, is the purest proof of that indifference we have ever seen. We were never meant to go there. The darkness at the edge of the solar system was never meant for us. It was just always there, waiting, patient, blue.